First time I've ever shot a 44 mag. Nah, I like it. I like it. Joel, I might have to go pick me up a 44 mag. Colby here. Before we dive into our interview, I'd like to share some things with you. We recognize that with time and experience, gun owners start to develop different tastes for different guns and different calibers. Today, we're going to explore a caliber that you might have heard of before.
But Ian, this is a 44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world.
That's right. We're checking out a 44 Magnum. Now, is the 44 Magnum the most powerful handgun in the world? Was it then, or is it now? What is your favorite caliber? You'll have to let me know your thoughts in the comments. And
You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
yes, I do. I feel very lucky because I get to talk with someone who owns a 44 mag. Let's dive in. Hello, hello. Welcome to Rugged Tactical, where every trigger pull tells a story and responsible gun ownership is a way of life. Whether you're a seasoned enthusiast or a curious newcomer, you might just learn something new. So today we have a very special guest. This is Joel. Joel, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself so we can get to know you a little bit better.
Absolutely. My name's Joel. I'm a longtime friend and neighbor of Colby here, and I'm definitely a firearms enthusiast.
Today we have Joel here with his gun, and just to start us off, first of all, what did you bring?
So the gun I brought here, this gun is, so there's nothing super significant or special about this particular firearm other than some sentimental value to me. So this is a Ruger Super Redhawk in the 44 Magnum, and I bought this gun when I was 15. My dad bought it legally, so that's probably important. But it was for me because I saw this gun in a catalog, a Ruger catalog that I was looking through, and I mean, just instantly fell in love with the looks, with the caliber. My father was always into the 44 Magnums, and so I mean, this was a natural fit for me. Plus, it's big and it's heavy, and I like that about it. So this particular gun, the Super Redhawk 44 Magnum, this is the 9.5-inch barrel configuration. These Super Redhawks, they're all double action. One of the differences between this and the standard Redhawk is the Ruger factory noticed some problems in the field with the regular Redhawks, how they mounted there was a lubricant that they used to thread the barrels in, and they were having some problems, some mechanical problems, and that led to designing a different gun. And with that gun, a couple of things, they wanted to cater to hunters. So as you can tell here at the top, they extended out the frame in order for scope mounts, basically, is why they did that. They come out with a couple different calibers. This exact gun here, this was shipped in, Ruger goes by ship date as opposed to manufacture date. It was shipped in 1997, and I think I paid about $500 or $600 for it way back then. I saw it and had to have it, and this has been my go-to. I got my rig here that I take it as a sidearm when I'm out hunting elk. I've hunted several different things, including Russian boars, and okay. I've taken 2 of them with this exact gun here. The reason that this sparked my interest, to Ruger specifically, was my dad was doing a lot of reloading, and so I would read the reloading manuals. And in the reloading manuals, you've got a couple different, specs, right? So there's the standard configuration loads for 44 Magnums, but there's also a higher velocity, higher knockdown power for Ruger and Thompson Contender. So that tells you right there that these Rugers are built strong, and 100% made in America, and every one of them comes with a lifetime guarantee, which is fantastic. So All great things that sold me on these Rugers, and in particular today the Super Redhawk.
So you had mentioned that this is specifically designed, for hunting or whatever. To be able to put a scope on it.
Yep, it comes.
And then
with
you said that you have used it hunting for hunting boars. Is there anything else that you could hunt with it?
Yeah, the 44 Magnum cartridge is, anything. I mean, there's nothing in the lower 48 that you would be bashful about using a 44 Magnum with. Like I said, it actually comes with the scope rings to mount a scope. It has the adjustable rear sight to sight that in, and it is a double action. This grip was designed for, they did a lot of what they call anatomical studies for an ergonomic grip fit for hands for shooting heavy calibers. So although it looks small, there's a pretty good comfort in holding that grip. So even though you're shooting hot, heavy loads, it's still a comfortable shoot.
Does it have a pretty good kick?
In the 44 Magnum, it's not too bad. Especially with the longer barrel. These Super Redhawks come in several different barrel lengths. This is the 9.5, like I said. They also come in the 7.5. The 454 Consul caliber comes in a 5.5, and they also make 2.5, which is they bypass the scope mounts, and then right at the end of this frame,
and that would have a real
frame
pop to it.
It's got a pretty good pop, but it's a personal protection gun is what I use those for.
Yeah. These longer barrels, I've noticed. I've got just a little Ruger 22 pistol, and it's got a little bit longer barrel. And to me, I find it a lot easier to you can reach out there with them.
Absolutely.
So as far as a hunting gun, you probably get a little bit more ability to focus in, hone in if you're shooting a little bit further distance. I don't know.
Absolutely, and historically, I've done quite a bit of research and talked to people who knew Old Man Ruger, and he didn't like short barrels.
Oh.
So,
yeah.
The guns prior to 2000, you don't find anything shorter than 4 5/8, and that's. That was only catered to the, the cowboy action shooters.
Yeah.
Most everything was long barrels.
That's interesting. Well, that would make sense why my Ruger has a little bit longer barrel, perhaps. I don't know.
That's probably right. I fell in love with these Super Redhawks, and I've collected one of each variation actually now, and all the different calibers, the different barrel lengths, and I'm an avid fan. They are fantastic shooting guns.
Is this your favorite gun in your whole collection?
This is probably my most favorite gun. I love the 44 Magnum. I love handguns. I'm probably a better shot with a handgun than a rifle. And this particular gun here, like I said, there's nothing particularly collectible or significant about this. Just standard model. This, I guess, put me on to my Ruger sickness. Yeah. Accumulation, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I love that it's big and that it's heavy, and I can hit with it.
Yeah.
That's a big one for me is being comfortable shooting it.
Yeah.
And I've shot two Russian boars with it, and both of them were within 10 feet, and
oh wow,
and one of which was, a lot closer than that. So.
Yeah, and it does the trick, I'm sure.
It does the job in the 44 Magnum, absolutely.
For those of you, obviously, the viewers that don't know you, if you were to rate yourself as far as level of experience of 1 to 10, 10 being an expert and 1 being a new beginner, right? Where would you put yourself as far as the level of experience goes with regards to gun ownership, gun handling, shooting?
I would have to put myself somewhere in the middle, maybe toward the higher end, just because I've been around guns my whole life. I've been shooting my whole life. Gun safety it's always been a priority. Even even shooting a BB gun when I was a youngster, and And the only reason I would even put myself that high is because I can hit with this gun. I've been hunting with it. It's kind of tested and proven that I can hit. But, you know, the more you learn about shooting, the more you learn about anything really is, you know, you figure out the less you know. So
Yeah.
there's some people that are, you know, I'm sure way more into it than I am. But to me, it's fun. It's a hobby.
So you're probably at about a 9 at least, I'd say, right? Maybe 10.
It's generous, yeah.
Oh, 9 is generous.
9 is generous.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. Okay. 8, 9, at least an 8. At least an 8, I'd say.
I'll take an 8. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Just explain a little bit to me. You said it's a double action. Explain to us real quick what a double action is, and then how many bullets it will hold.
Yeah. So this is a double action, meaning that in a single trigger pull, there's 2 actions that take place. The hammer goes back when you pull the trigger. If I was to pull the trigger all the way back, the hammer would go back and fire the gun. So that's the 2 actions, hence the name double action.
Yeah.
Typically, in most shooting and hunting purposes, you would use this gun single action, which means you can pull the hammer back, and then the additional trigger pull would fire the gun.
Yeah.
So it can be operated as a double action or single action. In most double actions, the cylinder comes out, and this particular model has 6 rounds available in the cylinder, which is fairly standard in most revolvers.
If somebody hasn't ever shot a gun before and they're thinking about getting into the hobby, they'd like to go shooting, what would you recommend for somebody that's never done it before?
I would recommend starting out with something a little smaller than a 44. You know, the power from the 44 is pretty good, but if you're not accustomed to feeling the kickback of shooting guns, it might be a little much from the get-go.
Little much, huh?
Yeah, it might be a little much. Just watch some people shoot before you. You know, somebody who's familiar with the gun or whoever owns the gun. Watch them shoot, see how it looks and feels, and how to do it, and then take your turn and get the feel, learn to enjoy it.
So it definitely helps to have somebody that's experienced, that knows proper gun handling, that knows the gun, that can walk you through it, be there and actually help you shoot. One of the keys that you just said, I think, was to just get out and shoot. The more you're out, the more you learn the feel for different calibers, the feel for different guns, gun grips, etc., the more likely you are to be able to truly appreciate the craftsmanship that comes into manufacturing these guns, but also from a collectability standpoint, right? There are amazing guns that some people probably don't even shoot because of the nature of what the gun is and what it means, right? So this is a gun that obviously you use and that you shoot. The question is, can we take this gun to the shooting range and actually shoot it?
Love to.
Okay, so we'll hit the range and show you this gun in action. So we'll have a little competition with Joel where we can get best out of 3 or best out of 5 shots. Whoever wins, maybe we'll have a little prize for you. If I win, then I get to have the bragging rights that I beat you with your own gun. How does that sound? So
sounds great.
What do you think? Best out of 3 or 5?
We better go 3.
3? Okay, best out of 3 shots.
Well, give me a chance.
Okay, sounds good. We'll get the little targets set up. We'll have a scoring system, best out of 3, and we'll see how well you do with your own gun.
Let's do it.
At Rugged Tactical, we prioritize the acceptance, recognition, and implementation of safe gun handling techniques. Here is a 1-minute safety briefing. We strongly advocate for everyone to adhere to these principles. When not in use or during filming, ensure that the firearm is both unloaded and cleared. Regardless of its unloaded status, handle each firearm with the utmost caution and assume it is loaded at all times. Always keep the muzzle pointed in a safe direction to prevent any accidental discharges from causing harm. Maintain a firm and proper grip on the firearm and refrain from placing your finger on the trigger until you are ready to shoot. Be conscious of your surroundings and identify your target, along with what lies beyond it. Bullets can penetrate walls and objects, emphasizing the need for situational awareness. Wear appropriate eye and ear protection to safeguard yourself during firearm use. Never use alcohol, over-the-counter drugs, or prescription medications before or during shooting activities. Store firearms in a manner that restricts access to unauthorized individuals. If facing emotional or mental struggles, have a person you trust store your firearms. For those new to firearms, we recommend taking a safety course to acquire fundamental knowledge and build confidence. At Rugged Tactical, safety is paramount paramount, and we encourage responsible firearm practices to ensure a secure and enjoyable experience for all.
Do you have any guns that you don't shoot?
Yeah, I've actually got an identical gun to this. This was a gun purchased just off the shelf, nothing significant about it. I also have serial number 5, which is 5th off the line serial number 5, it's an identical gun. So to me, it doesn't make any sense to shoot that one when I've got the exact same configuration that's not significant in any way.
Yeah.
So I do have that, and of course, several others that have different mechanisms and different qualities that make them collectible that would essentially devalue them if they were shot. To some people that doesn't really matter, but to me that is a thing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't give me any thrill or benefit to shoot a gun that's super collectible. I get more of my interest out of preserving it, I guess, because some of the guns that I have are pretty old. That's something that you can't reincorporate back. Yeah, you can't replace that.
Yeah.
The time is something you can't replace. So.
Well, and so, I mean, I don't know much about serial numbers and stuff like that, but to me, it sounds like serial number 5 is like the 5th off the line or something, and that is quite unique, right? Meaning to have a low serial number, am I thinking correctly as far as the serial number goes?
Absolutely.
I mean, to have a serial number 5 to me is quite special.
Yeah. Right. So one of the things that Ruger did for a long time, which they have since discontinued, it was a subscription service. And so basically guns serial number 1 through 150, the first 150 serial number range were already had buyers before they even were made. So anytime they would produce a gun with, be it a caliber, different configuration, different serial number range, whatever serial number range that was, so for example, number 5 would always go to the same person.
Oh.
So these were people that, number 1, most all the time stayed in the factory. Number 5 went to Hank Williams Jr. So that's where my number 5 came from. But these people were, most of the the first 10 were all within the factory. The lawyers, partners, friends of the Ruger family, those were already basically apportioned out. So that's one of the things that they did with their serial numbers. Again, that's since been discontinued, but some people that's a big thing.
Does make it special, and so it is kind of neat that you have your own gun that you're out there, you're shooting, but you're also be able to preserve the gun that has a little bit more collectible tone to it, right? Where you have that serial number 5, and so you can appreciate the best of both worlds, really. To be able to get out and shoot the gun, but then also to have something that's collectible. Some
of these serial number ranges, for example, in the Blue Book of Gun Values, it lists about 150 serial numbers where there was a particular defect, or maybe not a defect, but an alteration that wasn't intentional, perhaps. For example, on the side of this Super Redhawk, it does say Super Redhawk on one side. On the other side, it says Ruger. And I believe somebody made a mistake at the factory when they were producing and printed the Super Redhawk on both sides of the frame here. So, I mean, things like that to collectors are exciting.
Yeah.
I would guess that most of the people that have those guns with the double roll mark Super Redhawk probably don't know what it is.
Oh, really?
But I think it's cool.
Yeah, it is pretty neat. It's kind of like coins that get stamped wrong or
Absolutely.
whatever. Yeah,
same
it becomes
thing.
Collectible for sure.
Yep.
Okay, I wanna pull one of these bullets out real quick, if I can. These are bullets that you actually use for hunting, right?
Correct.
If you were to go, like when we go to the range and stuff, would you use a different type of bullet?
Yeah, these particular bullets, I loaded these for hunting. They most of the time stay in the belt.
Yeah.
Most of the time I'm not hunting, I'm practicing or target shooting. These particular bullets I loaded with Hornady 300 grain XTPs, and they are a heavier bullet as opposed to standard factory ammunition, which is usually 180s or 240 grain bullets. So these pack a little bit more of a punch for hunting, and it's, in my opinion, it's important to practice with both.
Yeah.
Because you want to keep the feel for when you're actually going to use it for hunting, but also these are more expensive than the typical factory ammunition, so I like to shoot those when it's convenient.
Yeah. And so so these are reloads that you've done?
Yep, those are reloads.
Okay. Do you typically, for hunting, do you put a little bit more powder in them? Are they a little bit hotter, or do they run roughly the same?
They're a little bit hotter. So factory ammunition is obviously tamed back to fit all different types of 44 Magnums, whether you're shooting, some of your smaller, lighter guns, or up to these where they're, built with an overbuild capacity to handle hotter loads. Factory ammunition, they don't know what gun that bullet's going in, and so they tame them back, which in my opinion is the correct thing to do.
Yeah.
But I know that these bullets are loaded hotter, still within designated specs. I'm not customizing my loads anywhere above the recommended loads, but they are on the hotter end.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about this belt that you got here.
So this belt, I bought this not too long after I bought the gun. I love carrying this thing. Obviously, the weight of it's about 58 ounces, and it's pretty heavy. And I take this thing hunting, and so I needed a way to carry it. I like the Western rig. This particular one is made by Hunter, and this is what I wear hunting on as my sidearm. I like that it's got the drop holster, so it hangs down a little bit out of the way. So, my primary hunting gun is usually the rifle. It's out of the way of my rifle. It's a little lower, but still obviously very accessible if I need it.
If you need it, yeah. With regards to hunting in Utah, can you use this gun for large game such as deer and elk, or do they require the rifles?
It's a good question. If you're going to hunt, especially with a handgun, I mean, you need to know the rules, the laws, and what the recommendations are. In Utah in particular, they do require a certain barrel length, and they also require a certain energy foot-pounds at the muzzle, which the 44 Magnum meets that spec, and also the 9.5-inch barrel meets that spec. So you do need to know your laws, especially, I mean, if you're going to be out there, you need to know what you're doing and making sure you're legal to do it.
Yeah, and the laws can change, so always check your local laws
regularly.
Regularly, yeah, and even every season. I mean, you got to be checking the proclamations, right? So for example, when I go hunting, I have my hunting rifle, but I also have my 40 with me because a lot of times I go for example, like on the muzzleloader. And we have bears, we have mountain lions here in Utah, and there is a very real threat of having a bear attack or a mountain lion attack. And if I'm hunting with my muzzleloader, if I was to have a bear charge me or a mountain lion or whatever, I would want to be able to protect myself. So I've got my muzzleloader, but I also carry my 40, right? But I cannot hunt with my 40. And so for me, that is an additional protection, right? When I'm out in the mountains and not in my natural habitat, right? When I'm in the wildlife habitat, to me, it gives me a sense of security being out in the wild. So whereas with this, depending on your local laws and stuff, there's a great possibility that, if the circumstances are right, you could actually shoot your large game with this.
Yep, that's correct. That's the reason I carry it, is I'd love to take a deer or elk with it. Most of my shots have been longer range than I feel comfortable taking with a handgun. So I've used my rifle, but definitely I like having it on my side, mostly for personal protection's sake. And in Utah, you're allowed to carry a sidearm such as your 40 as a concealed weapon, not as a hunting gun. So is there anything else that you'd like to share with your good-looking Ruger here? I love this Ruger and collected several just like it because it's something I found that I've really enjoyed, and I take pride in my toys.
Very good. I'd like to take a moment to share exciting news about our Patreon page at Rugged Tactical. Our mission at Rugged Tactical is to take you on a journey exploring the reasons why people own guns and how firearm ownership can have a positive impact in their lives. Support on Patreon helps us to achieve our mission. In return, patrons enjoy exclusive perks and benefits, such as early access to our videos and bonus content. Be sure to check us out at patreon.com/ruggedtactical. Thank you for joining us on this meaningful journey. Now, Joel has shared us a bit about his gun. Now it's time to go and shoot it. Colby and Joel here. We're gonna head into Impact. We're gonna shoot his 44 mag. I've never shot a 44 mag before, so it's gonna be a first time experience for me. I'm pretty excited. It looks like a wicked gun. It should be fun.
It's a rush. Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, so here we are. We're gonna get our targets set up right here. There we got Joel's target. Well, there's mine. We're gonna have a little bit of a competition. Tell you what, I think what we should do is, I mean, obviously you know your gun, but I'm not familiar with your gun, so I'd say we pick one of these guys, like right here. Take 5 practice. How many per cylinder? 5?
6.
Oh, 6.
I know what you're thinking. Did he fire 6 shots or only 5?
So maybe 6 shots, right? 6 shots each, and then we do our little competition. You said you want to do a best out of 3, right?
Let's do it.
So we'll do maybe 6 shots on one of these, and then for the actual competition, we'll go for the center, and then if the bullet, if it cracks the line, then you get that point. Okay.
Okay.
And so yeah, 6 shots for you, 6 shots for me, and then we'll go ahead and do the best out of 3, and then we'll go from there.
All right.
And you also brought a little companion here.
It's essentially the same gun, with the exception of the barrel length, as you can tell. And with this barrel, they decided to forego the scope mounts. Other than that, it's identical.
Okay. So we get to check out the length. Do you know what length this is?
2.5.
So 2.5, and my guess is that's going to have a pretty good little pop to it. So go ahead and run your target down there, and we'll get a little bit of footage of you shooting your first kind of practice rounds, and then we'll get the competition started.
How far are we going?
Right there's fine. Okay, you're good.
Good to go?
Yeah. There it is.
There we go.
Very good. That's got a pretty good pop. Here we are with Joel's gun. This, I gotta say, this feels nice and heavy. That's a lot of gun. I'm not used to a lot of gun like this. A pistol. So obviously I'm not familiar with it. First of all, we're gonna take the ammo, or the spent brass. Is that how you typically do it? You just pop it out like that?
Yep, that's how it's done.
We'll set these aside because you like to reload, so you can have those to reload. It's a nice bullet. That feels pretty smooth how they drop in.
One of the things I really like about that gun is that grip on there. It's got that rubber coating on it.
Yeah, it feels good.
Makes it easy to hold on to.
Okay, here we go. So put them out a little bit further. About right there. So I'm gonna go for the lower left. Oh, look at how that feels. This feels nice. First time I've ever shot a 44 mag. Nah, I like it. I like it. Joel, I might have to go pick me up a 44 mag. That's the test right there to see if you're squeezing the trigger or if you're jerking the trigger. If you go click, you know you're jerking and not squeezing, right? Okay, not a bad little grouping there.
That's a good group.
Yeah,
Better
it's
than mine.
Not too shabby. Okay, so best out of 3. It looks like the point system is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then probably 10. What would you say? We can do it however you want. If it breaks it, like let's say this outer ring is a 4, right? So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then so the highest score, I guess, wins. Does that work?
That works for me.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, best out of 3. Here we go. Now the question is, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I'll let you go first. You're in the spot.
Okay, are we still rolling?
Still rolling.
Okay, so we got 3. 1, 2, 3. Dude, I like this gun. Okay. So I think you got your work cut out for you a little bit.
Yes, I do. Look at that.
So 4, 5, 6. So 6 is 12. Plus I'd say 9. So 12 is 9. 21. Okay. Okay. Put the pressure on you a little bit.
So you got this pin
I-
on the back, right? We'll pull them out for you.
So how are you feeling, Joel? Are you a little bit nervous?
I'm a little nervous now. Got some good shooting. Good to go?
Okay, I think we're good to go.
All right.
Okay, best out of 3. It's like 4, 8. Oh, look at that last one. That last one was pretty nice.
I think you got me.
Yeah, I think I might have it. Oh, look at that. So we had 8 plus 8, 16. 16, there we have it.
16 to 22. That's a clear winner.
Hey, well, thanks for the competition. That was fun. Glad I could take this beautiful gun out to shoot it and sharing it with us.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can see myself packing that while I was out hunting as well. You know what I mean? Let's get a slow motion of this, and then we're gonna try out his
They call it the Alaskan.
2.5-inch barrel. That'll be a fun one to get a slow motion as well. Hey, so here we are with the, now this is the same, it's a Ruger Super Redhawk Alaskan. They call it the Alaskan 44 mag, is what you said, and then it's 2.5-inch barrel, right?
Correct.
Okay. Well, let's give this gun a shot. Like, you've never fired this gun before, right?
Not this exact gun, no.
Okay, so what, so is it your gun or is it one that you're borrowing?
Yep, this is my gun.
Okay.
Yep, I've had it for a while, and I've shot the other ones, the 454, 480 Ruger, but never the actual 44 Alaskan, so see what it's like.
Perfect, sounds good. Okay, so Joel's first time ever firing this gun. I'm pretty excited to see it.
There we go.
Does it got a pretty good pop? Does it pop quite a bit more than your other one?
Sure does.
You gotta hold on to it a little bit more, huh?
Hold on to a little bit. This got an oversized grip on it, which comes factory like that, but It's easy to hold on to.
Helps you have a little bit more hold on it.
Yep. You gonna give it a try?
Yeah, I'd love to. So here we got the Ruger Super Redhawk Alaskan, and we'll give this a try. Like the other one, it feels good. The brass, the shells just drop right in it. Feels good. I have no idea where I hit. I thought I was aiming pretty good, and I have no idea where that went. That one I know. I must have hit left. Yeah, I'm hitting a little bit left. Click. Was that 6? It was, wasn't it?
Did he fire 6 shots or only 5?
That was 6.
Well, let's take a look. Not too bad, I don't think. It's not a bad grouping.
Especially for 2.5 inch barrel.
For 2.5 inch barrel, yeah.
It's a good group.
And I think that first one must have been just off the paper to the left here.
You got this little guy right there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Might have been.
Could have been, yeah, high and left. Yeah. Well, that's a lot of fun right there. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so here we are. We're gonna do a quick trigger pull test on this gun real quick. Thing is off. Yeah, okay, that's pretty consistent.
5 7/8.
Yeah. We'll do one more. That's pretty consistent. Yeah, there we are. I'd say that's where we're at. Let's do this 2.5 incher real quick. Feels a little bit less, so 3 7/8, right?
3 7/8, yeah. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, right there.
Right.
So interestingly, so your 2.5 incher, your Alaskan has a lighter trigger pull. Okay, well, thanks again, Joel, for sharing with us these two amazing guns, 44 mag Super Redhawk, and your Alaskan 2.5 inch barrel. And there we go. There you have it. Thanks for joining us today, and especially thank you, Joel, for sharing with us. Remember to like and subscribe, and if you want to be alerted when we post new videos, be sure to pull the trigger on that bell icon. As the dust settles on another rugged tactical adventure, always reload your curiosity, keep the fires burning, and we'll catch you in the next round.
I know what you're thinking. Did he fire 6 shots or only 5?